Exactly 1 year ago, on the 18th of February 2019, I uploaded my very first video to YouTube. Since then, I've been loyal to my schedule, uploading one video every month following the creation of my channel. Which means this is my 13th video. So let's hope I don't die in an accident after this video is released. Pray for me. Like any anniversary, it's something to celebrate. And when I say celebrate, I mean going through how I make my videos, talking about projects I've been involved with, as well as plans heading forward. I'll create timestamps on the screen if you want to skip to certain parts. Thank you for this year. Hopefully we can make 2020 even better. Which, if you can listen to my voice, will hear that I have already done, because I've gotten a new microphone. I know, it sounds amazing. It's the question the most renowned scientists and philosophers have been asking since the beginning of time. How does national team football make its videos? Like any project, it starts with an idea. The inception of an idea can be extremely random, although some of my videos are based on topical events. For example, the Croatia video was released quite shortly after the remarkable World Cup performance, and the Finland video was released shortly after they qualified for UEFA Euro 2020. But videos such as about the Netherlands, Colombia and Denmark are more random, often simply the result of a random spark of inspiration. When I have an idea, I create a Google document for the video and start writing the script. I use a wide variety of sources, but the most commonly used one by far is Wikipedia. Yes, despite what teachers and professors may tell you, Wikipedia is a reliable source for information. I challenge you to fact check every single video I made to see if you can find incorrect information. For my videos covering the history of national teams, they're not entirely objective in the sense that I have to decide which information to include and which information to leave out. Also, I have to decide which narrative I want to follow through each national team story. For example, in my Croatia video, I wanted to highlight how Croatia is an unlikely success story in football, being a small nation plagued by a deadly war that somehow still manages to reach a final of a World Cup. In my Netherlands video, I wanted to highlight how they were quite bad until they took the world by storm at the 1970 World Cup, essentially from out of nowhere, as implied by the video title, and that they're by far the best team that has never won the World Cup. In my Colombia video, I wanted to highlight their 1994 and 2014 World Cups, two complete contrasts. In 1994 they flopped and one of their players, Andres Escobar, was murdered. A tragedy. But in 2014 they found redemption, experiencing their greatest ever World Cup success. Stories worth telling, essentially. You get the idea. For my more opinionated videos, such as the ones where I predict European qualifiers and the UEFA Nations League, the approach is different. It's not about telling a story, but rather giving accurate predictions for the matches. In order to have my predictions be as accurate as possible, quite a lot of research is required. A team's recent performances in competitive games, home and away record, historic results against the opposing team, importance of the game for each team, are they likely to push for a win, is a draw enough or can they even afford to lose a game, injured players and tactics. These are all aspects to consider when predicting a game. For these videos, I don't exclusively use Wikipedia as a source. Also 11v11, a website with plenty of useful information, but I mostly use it to view the history of games played between two national teams. After finishing writing the script, I record the audio for my videos using Audacity. Then I look for video clips and images to use in the video. In my first 3 videos, I only used images, but since then I've aimed to use video clips more, with a couple of exceptions. My most recent video, about the 1982 Africa Cup of Nations, uses mostly images simply because I could barely find any footage from that tournament. But I generally prefer using video clips nowadays, even though it makes copyright and content ID claims a bigger issue. I'm not monetized though, so I don't lose out on it financially. I search for the type of content I want to use on YouTube, find an appropriate video, and download it using 4K downloader. There are other options available, this just happens to be what I use. Then I pick a few seconds of each downloaded video and use it in my own as clips. Of course, making sure to give credit to the original creator. If you didn't already know from the disclaimer at the start of all my videos, I give attribution for video clips, images, and music in my descriptions. I find a decent amount of my images using Google, adjusting search settings so only images that are okay to use show up. But I find most of my images on, once again, Wikipedia. More specifically, Wikimedia Commons, a media file repository making available public domain and freely licensed educational media content. Images, sound, and video clips. To everyone. Fantastic. When the script is finished, audio recorded, video clips and images are collected, the actual creation of the video can begin. But I usually create the thumbnail first, just so I have it out of the way. For editing, I don't use anything fancy, just my computer's built-in video editor simply labeled Video Editor. Ludicrous, I know, but it's all I need. My editing is nothing fancy, even though I try to make it as professional as I can. After writing my iconic disclaimer at the start of all my videos, I simply add each video clip and image I want to use, then import my narration and background music. Always making sure to lower the music volume slightly so my voice is heard better. Then I export the video and upload the video to YouTube. Here the work is almost over, but not quite. I have to decide a title, description, and tags to use. For deciding which tags to use, I use cobaltplay.com. You simply write terms related to your video, and suggested tags will automatically show up. Super convenient. When it comes to music, I usually go to incompetech.com and find it there. A lot of Kevin MacLeod's work, but there are also many audio libraries on YouTube that I use to find music. Besides doing YouTube and working a full-time job, I'm also involved with freelance writing. Football related, of course. As of now, I currently write for FM Scout, Last Word on Football, and Touchline Football, and have published a few articles already using my real name. I would strongly appreciate it if you checked out some of my previous work and try keeping up with new texts I publish. Like New Year's resolutions of sorts, it's natural to plan out the future in order to improve my channel, brand, or whatever you want to call it. The first improvement isn't really part of my future, since I've already done it, getting a new microphone. I might upgrade my gear as I see fit, but for the time being I don't think that's necessary. The main plan for the future is doing major Euro 2020 coverage. Not only many videos about it, but also a podcast. I don't want to spoil too much of it, just know that much more content is coming, so stay tuned. Speaking of more content, I plan on eventually uploading more frequently. Bi-weekly or weekly, as opposed to monthly as I do now. However, it's not set in stone. And even if I do it eventually, it won't be until in a decent amount of months. I got work, I got university. I write for 3 websites, sorry not sorry. I also want to do collabs in the future. Not sure with whom, but I do have a friend who is starting his own channel, so maybe him. Thank you for this year. Hopefully we can make 2020 even better. Yada 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 yada. More 1-year anniversary cliches.